In this week's episode of Working with Productivity, I have Anthony Gauna. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of my Working with Productivity series. In this week's episode, I have a very special guest, a guest called Anthony Gauna of Anthony Gauna Photography. And I should give you a little bit of background about Anthony. Anthony started doing some videos on YouTube last year, 2016, and he was documenting how he uses Todoist. And many of these videos are just really eye-opening, and I strongly recommend for you Todoist users out there to go over to Anthony's YouTube channel and have a look at how he sets up Todoist. It's really, really good, and it's very good for those of you guys who have a number of freelance clients, because Anthony obviously has a number of clients when he's doing his photography shoot, because he does wedding photography, and Anthony is able to manage the whole process, the step-by-step process using Todoist. Really, really fascinating, and it's a really good insight into how you can get the most out of Todoist. So I strongly recommend that you have a look at Anthony's YouTube channel. Fascinating stuff. And Anthony is, in this episode, in this video that Anthony has done for us, what he's done is he's actually gone through a little bit of his background story about how he came to productivity, and then he goes through a number of tips that can really help you guys, including email management, in his video. So I strongly recommend that you sit back and enjoy this, because you could learn a lot from what Anthony has to say. So without any further delay, Anthony, it's over to you.
What's up, everyone? My name's Anthony Gauna, and I am a wedding photographer based in the US. I want to thank Carl for inviting me onto his channel. I've been a viewer since day one when he started making videos on Todoist, and since then I've been implementing stuff within Todoist and Evernote. He has lots of great stuff, and so it's exciting for me to be invited on to share my productivity tips. Now, I thought I would kind of share some getting started productivity tips, because let me share a little bit of my journey into productivity. So 5 years ago in 2012, I was fired from my job, and I just decided to become a wedding photographer. I had already been shooting a little bit here and there, but I decided to pursue my dream of just working for myself and doing something that I absolutely loved. However, it was quite of a struggle, because I had a lot of things to maintain, lots of just deadlines with editing to kind of just take care of, and making sure I wasn't overbooking or double booking dates for weddings or shoots, and then keeping up with accounting and taxes and those deadlines, and just staying sane in my overall life. Lots of just things were being thrown at me, and it became very, very stressful for me. And so from there, I just started looking up ways to just manage my life. And so I started trying out different task managers and just writing out lists, and that became a little bit it started to take a little bit of the load off of me. Once I came across Todoist, which is my current task manager, that is where I came across GTD, which is the Getting Things Done methodology that was created by David Allen. From there, I mean, everything just started coming together. And so that's kind of just my journey into productivity, and I wanted to share a few of the tips that helped me get my start to become stress-free. Now, for me, productivity isn't about just getting a lot of things done. It's really about creating a stress-free life for yourself, not having to worry about anything, not having to worry about remembering things, just staying on top of life, because nowadays you've got a lot being thrown at you. You've got tons of emails coming in, lots of different noise, whether it's notifications on your computer or on your phone from all these different apps. You've also got notifications from all these different social medias that you're on: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, like so many different things to keep up with nowadays, and it's just a lot of noise. And so productivity is just a system for me to be able to cut out all that noise and be able to stay on top of my life and stay on top of the things that are important to me. So that's my outlook on productivity. Now let's get on to the tips. All right, so my first tip is to read Getting Things Done by David Allen. It is a pretty difficult read, in my opinion. I'm not much of a reader, so maybe that's why. I felt it was pretty intricate, but I still read that entire book 2 times, and I just took bits and pieces that made sense to me. It actually, like, a lot of the stuff was pretty simple in my opinion, like just the basic ideas. That is where I got the idea for an inbox and having, you know, a right place to put everything. But I recommend reading it. It's a little bit of a boring read in my opinion, a little bit corporate, a little bit old school. I read the older version. I know there's a newer one that is out currently, but I recommend picking it up. It's a couple bucks on Amazon. Read that book. It'll get you a nice start into the right direction as far as like getting your life in order. Tip number 2 is to write everything down, no matter what it is. If something pops up in your head of something that you need to do or take care of or pick up from the store, write it down, whether it's on a sheet of paper, a notebook, in your phone, just somewhere that you know you will always know where to go to. Make sure it's the same place every time. So if you write down a lot of different things, maybe on Post-it notes or sheets of paper, have one dedicated spot where you can put all of those sheets of paper and know where to find them. I personally write everything down into my phone and then transport it into Todoist, which I will talk about in just a sec. Just have a dedicated spot where you will be able to remember to go and find all these different things that popped up in your head that you need to take care of, and it will definitely take a load off your mind and your back, just because you don't want to remember all these different things. Tip number 3 is to find a task manager. Now, it could either be an app or it could be, you know, in a notebook. Whatever it is, have a dedicated place for all your different tasks. Now, me, I am a digital person. Personally, I love Todoist because it's a very simplistic looking task manager, and I can access it from my computer or my phone. I personally like that. Now my girlfriend, she likes to write everything down on paper, and so she has, you know, a notebook that she uses to kind of keep track of everything. But the idea is to have a place to put these different tasks and organize them so that it makes sense to you. Todoist is great. I think you should look it up, and Carl has a bunch of videos and an ebook on using Todoist, so that's my recommendation. Tip number 4, put things into your calendar. Things that are definitely important, like appointments and stuff like that, should be going into your calendar. You don't want to be forgetting to take care of these different things, and always remember to review your calendar in the morning so that you know what you've got going on that day. Don't be one of these people that just wants to remember, like, oh, today is so and so, I think I got to go doing this. No, like, have a place in your calendar to put these different things. Me, I'm a little bit more crazy. I like to have different calendars for different aspects of my life and have different colors for each of those things so that I know where all of my time is being allocated in an entire day. Because before I was getting down because I felt like I wasn't getting enough done in a day. But when you actually put everything into your calendar, you're able to kind of just visually see where all of your time is going and how it's being spent, whether it be for work or family time, exercising. You're able to just visually see how your day is being spent. And so at the bare minimum, I recommend just putting things into your calendar. Tip number 5 is to get your email under control. Don't be one of these people that just has your inbox just filled with thousands of emails. I can't even imagine having an email client or system like that. That was me when that was me years ago. But nowadays I definitely keep it under control. So here's a few things that I recommend. Number one is to get this free service called unroll.me. And what it does is it shows all the emails, newsletters that you're signed up to with a subscription. And you can either have all those emails rolled up into a folder or an email, or unsubscribe from them. Sometimes you're subscribed to these emails and you don't even realize it because they're just being thrown at you, constantly. But that is a free tool that I recommend using. A paid one that I use is one called SaneBox. It's $10 a month, but basically it just automatically filters your email. So the way I have it set up, very, very simple. I have the inbox, which is just for important things that I need to take care of. And then I have another folder for newsletters. Now these are newsletters that I know I'm subscribed to that I definitely want to read. One is the Productivity and Tech newsletter. That goes straight into there. The other folder is another one called Later. This just has everything else. All my other notification emails, receipts for things that I order. Basically, all the other noise is thrown into there. And so basically what it comes down to is I open up my inbox and I just see the things that I need to take care of, which is incredible. So I can decide if I need to take care of it now or later and snooze it and all that. And that brings me to my last tip, is to find a good email client. I used to use Gmail. I mean, my account still is a Gmail account, but I no longer log on to Gmail because it just felt too cluttered and too old school looking. And what I'm currently using now is an app called Newton. And it's a very, very nice, clean, simplistic looking email app. I use it on Mac and iOS. I believe Windows is coming soon, but I recommend it. It just looks very, very clean. Yeah, that's just, I mean, it's got snooze functionality and all these read receipts and all that. It's really nice to kind of like keep track of everything. And when you open up your inbox, you don't feel overwhelmed. Now, the last tip that I have regarding email is archive everything once you've taken care of something. So don't leave it in your inbox, because if not, it's just gonna pile up with just a bunch of read emails. Once you've read it or taken action on it, archive it so that it's not stuck up in there. And every time you open up your inbox, you'll just see a bunch of the unread stuff that you need to take care of. So it helps clear your mind a little bit more. So there you have it. Those are my top tips to get started into productivity. That is what helped me along my journey. Once again, productivity is not about just checking off a bunch of boxes and getting a lot of things done. It's really about getting the important things done that you want to get done, as well as just living a stress-free life that you enjoy. I want to thank Carl for inviting me onto his channel. It's been a huge honor. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comments. And if you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to Carl's channel. I'm personally one of those subscribers that watches every week. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and take care. Bye.